is uncredited in Mission Impossible 1. Like, he deserves better. Well, here we are again. Congrats on getting through a Tuesday. Right? That's the day, right? I'm on a vacation, so, well, I'm on time off. I should have been elsewhere, but the world is broken. As usual, Chasing Geekdom is the channel, and normally I would be out in the world like this week, covering comic conventions and theme parks, two of which I would have been doing this week in Anaheim for Star Wars Celebration at Disneyland, but and also themed races like the Star Wars Half Marathon, which is one that used to take place out there in Anaheim as well. But since the world is broken, I cannot do those things. So I'm plopping down here every day and talking about the same things I would be in the segments I would create at those events, while Fortnite is in the background. It's usually during, like, when I'm working, this is usually like my wind down for the day. And don't really need to wind down from a day off. It's just a little bit more, I don't have as mushy of a brain, which is nice. As I've been doing, going through all of the different TV shows and films and the universes of, like, kind of surrounding but not necessarily fully dedicated to, like, geek culture. Going through all these titles and movie TV shows. Alright, there's a new comic, but I don't think I'm going to jump right into that. Maybe I'll come back in a little bit. But we get it. I think the gist is just that comic version of Marvel is coming to the island with this Galactus guy and Thor and whatever. And for some reason, we're going to fight the good guys. I think. I don't know. Anyways, going through title by title, setting up a Sweet 16 style bracket of who I think would be the most appealing hungover brunch guest from each title I go through. So I've gotten locked in quite a few now, 10 or 11 or 12. I think 12. And once I get the individuals kind of pulled from those titles, those movies and TV shows, and lock in the 16, then they'll go head to head. I may do 2 brackets of 16, we'll see, and let the winner of each one go against each other. For, like, we've got time on our hands, right? You know, I noticed, speaking of going out into the world, I noticed that there are movie theaters in my area that are opening up this week. No, man. And, like, you gotta wear a mask, but unless you're eating and drinking, people are just gonna be like, to get into the theater, nobody's gonna be wearing their mask because people snack and drink and whatever throughout the whole. I'm not gonna go. Hit me with a vaccine and then I'll hit up a movie theater. I was already not going to the theater this year anyways, just as a actually literal New Year's resolution, because humans are already terrible at going to the movies, so that would be annoying. Today's title that I'm going to go through is the OG Mission Impossible, the first one, because there's a lot of characters throughout all of those movies, and I love that movie. It's very unique. Honestly, it was just, full disclosure and transparency, just an opportunity, an excuse to talk about the scene with Ethan and Kittredge in that restaurant with the fish tank. Like, it is one of the most perfect scenes ever made in a film. And this is Brunch Madness. I've had some time off to make some things, so let's jump in. Round 1 is usually just me laying down the groundwork for, like, how this how this goes, like what the main three aspects that I'm looking for in a hungover brunch cast. It's a smaller cast, so I'm going to include the people from a few, at least, of the people that get wiped out in the beginning, so that we can talk about Emilio. Hasta lasagna, don't get any Anya. I mean, come on, uncredited. Maybe that was like his kind of baller move of like, I'm too big for this silly little spy movie. Just put me in there and kill me soon. He makes a mark though, and he's just saying, like, he might make the finals. Who knows? We'll see. So we'll start with him, because I had to scroll IMDb, um, just to find him. Very sorry for that, and that. Yeah, much more casual, like first round usually, because I want to be able to like kind of lay the groundwork for this Brunch Madness competition. So the things that I'm looking for, the three main ingredients for the best hungover brunch guest. One, we look at the energy level the next day. So, I'm not in my 20s, or maybe I'm not even in my 30s anymore. So recovery time, this is given that I haven't gotten like completely out of control the night before. So that little bit down there to Batman's left is where Mjolnir is sitting right now. It's such a trip. They just kind of put it there, unless I missed a video at some point, because I don't remember. No, I couldn't have. I mean, I play this every day, so. Anyways, energy level the next day. It's got to be not so mellow, like that I'd be concerned and feel like I need to be like check in and be like, "Are you okay?" I feel like I would need to babysit kind of thing. Where am I headed? Yeah, let's just still go there. But also, and that was like Kate from Lost. I figured she's just so wrecked in her life that I think the next day she would have done just too much, and you'd be concerned. Feel like you need to take care of someone too much. So like have 911 ready, or at least be ready to like roll them into an urgent care. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you also don't want them to have too much energy, like a Peter Parker. And so kind of right in the middle there, relaxed and nice and medium. Number two, how would they be good to the staff in the establishment that we're in? Someone who's grateful to those in the service industry, and we're going to assume that it's good service. Because of course, there's always a turd somewhere. We'll just assume that this place is great at staffing. Glad I came over here. And in each of these two, there is a way for them to kind of go above and beyond, but we don't have to get to that point. As long as they tick off these initial three qualifications, then they go on the finals list, and then from there, they can be compared. I kind of want to go look at the lake here. Would they be good to them? Grateful with the above and beyond, really, where sometimes it comes down to when it's between a few different contestants, is whether or not they'll take the wheel in those interactions. because social anxiety on my end, and I'm also kind of, if I'm in that state, sometimes I don't trust myself to be, and that's on me, but it's truthful, um, as good as I would want to be to them, overtly enough, just because I know I'd feel guilty if I wasn't. If, by the way, internet does cut out at any point, um, I'll be back. It's just a couple, like maybe a minute or so, and then get things back up and running. And if this is on, once it's on YouTube, if that happens, it's all those little drops are edited out. And then the third criteria would be an interest in this type of conversation in that state, because this is the kind of thing that I do after I've had a long day at work, or if I'm hungover and tired or whatever. One is because this is the kind of content that I'm interested in talking about, and this kind of silly kind of debate. It's something that just engages kind of in a soft way, engages the mind without being too much of a challenge, so that the day doesn't fully go to waste. It's like, maybe, yes, I just woke up at 11 and I'm rolling into a brunch, but I want to salvage something, even if it's just in my mind, so it's something that'll kind of kickstart brain places. So those are the three criteria to kind of start from, and then from there, once we wind up on like the finals list and so on, we can kind of weigh the more fine details of each. So cool. I'm all armed up and I've kind of laid it all down, so let's jump in. And usually I start, from those that had not smaller, but yes, sometimes smaller roles, and then work my way backwards into the main cast. And the first one that I found, because of his uncredited status, my favorite roles in that film. I'm going to need to find the other woman too. The one who had the shades on the, what's it actually? I want something to burn things down with. I like the flare guns and the fireflies for when I come across one of these, like, very unnecessarily elaborate builder people. I understand competitively it's a good thing to just good skill to master, but I play casually, so I just burn it down when I see it. So basically, yeah, all of the, I might take some, because I don't know that actress's name. But let's start with Amelia as Jack Harmon, R.I.P. Jack. Spoilers. I think definitely, I mean, he seemed like, I think that they wanted that too, because they needed to, from that initial scene, get you kind of invested in, or make those characters appealing, so you feel their loss a little bit more, because it happens so quickly. So they had to, like, show the little, the banter that they had and everything, and not just a loss through the eyes of Ethan's, character, but you're kind of like, oh, they were cool, and so, like, the audience feels the loss, because you were like, okay, I'm ready, I'm buckled in to, like, hang out with this dude. And I felt that with Emilio, not surprisingly. I mean, he's always had, like, a cool take on, the roles that he's played. Young Guns, Billy the Kid and all. I mean, maybe the second bracket I will include Young Guns. Or maybe maybe on this one. We'll see. So speaking of, where is everyone? What do we have left here? I look forward to what is going on out there. Is that new? Or is that a challenge of sorts? Probably a challenge of like something with boats. Yeah. I bet. Which I'm not gonna. I want to look at it, but I don't want to bother. It's not like. Let's have a look. We talk about Emilio's Jack. Yeah, that's got to be the start of some sort of. Yeah, there's just paddles of. Whoa, yay! All right, let's get some. I think I prefer that to burning rather than exploding. So that dude, very quickly, he's funny. He's got a great sense of humor. That lost a lasagna, don't get any Anya joke. I always love that. If we look at it just according to the criteria, so the first one, which is, would he be good to the wait staff? I think so. I mean, what's the word I'm looking for? Okay, so you guys can hear the sound of the game, but I cannot. That's a bummer. I wonder if the battery died or the charge in these headphones went out. I'll have to check in a minute. But anyways. I do want to be able to hear other players coming, that's for sure. I created somewhat of a technical difficulties hold screen earlier today, so I might be able to put that into action already. Other headphones. Why did I do that? That's not what I intended. Well, that was a waste. Okay. Let's see. That is indeed the case. He's died. Okay. Oops. Sorry about that. Grab some others in a second. Oh, I see. Hold on a second. Sorry, I've got some technical issues distracting me from things I may take a look at. Something here. It's a shame there aren't more people in the chat to tell me if they hear footsteps coming, because I can't hear Jack right now. Don't understand why I can't. It's odd to me that I can see in OBS, I can see chat, but in the moderator view of desktop version moderator view of Twitch, I can't. Thought I had that. Oops, had that handled. All right, let's see how far I can get without being able to hear. So we're talking about Emilio. So Emilio's character. Yeah, I mean, he seems very. There's a word coming to my mind. I don't think it's the right one. He's a man of the people. I think he seems very. Ooh, yes, I prefer it. Thank you. I don't think I'm gonna worry about playing this. So yeah, I think he'd be... How are there only 5 people left? I've literally not seen any of them. Somebody fight me, so then I can die, and then I can get different headphones, and then I can see why the chat thing isn't working for me. And then we can continue talking about Emilio. I think, yeah, he'd be... Because he's charming, you know, witty and all that, and I think... Seems... That guy's getting his boat on. Which side of this tree you coming out on, buddy? Here? 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 Are you gonna sneak around? Are you gonna... Are you skulking? What's going on? Team up against the car guy. Is he gone? No. Here we go. Crazy that I can't hear, and I've got someone shooting me from the side. That's good. Alright, you know what? Let me... I don't get why chat stuff isn't showing up, but this is my new little screen. Let's see if I can get headphones and be back by the time. I think it runs for like a minute or so, but I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Thanks for the shout about the good stream. But again, if you see the rules, I'm on a mission here. I appreciate you popping by, but it's weird that I can't see. It's there in OBS, but it's not coming through in the moderator view, which is odd. But I want to stay on. I appreciate it, but I do mean it when I say please stay on top. I'm on a mission. When it comes to these streams, I'm trying to get through these shows and put my mind to this kind of thing to kind of stoke the creative fires and that kind of thing. So if you have any thoughts on the cast of the original characters in the original Mission Impossible film, please let me know, so like help me through this conversation. Channel legitimately like confused about this. Why I would see it in one spot and not another. So Emilio, this character. So both charging these previously dead headphones and using them at the same time, so I hope one is stronger than the other. Yeah, so Emilio's character, we already know, yeah, he's very charming and witty and stuff, and I think would be cool to the waitstaff. He seems like a genuinely kind guy. Would he have the right energy level? Most likely. I mean, he seems kind of. You only see him briefly. That doesn't eliminate him, because I think you see enough of him to like. He's probably in that film, I would say, late 20s, maybe 30. We'll put him at 30. At that point, you're not going to be Peter Parker annoying, the next day, energy level wise. Man, why is stuff not showing up? Anyway, I'm not going to obsess with that stuff. I always let that derail me, which I'm not going to do this time. Maybe if I hop onto the Twitch side. So he'd be right energy level, that kind of thing. Would he engage in this conversation? I think so. Like, he does seem. Someone else may jump out as more of an obvious candidate for that kind of thing, but just his vibe overall, I think, yeah, I think he's gonna have that. We'll be able to find common ground, which thankfully people's tastes, including my own, are varied. So looking at the shows and things that I've gone through so far on here, I know I've got Batman and Cap Shield on here, but we went through the Vampire Diaries and The Good Place, and now we're looking at Mission Impossible. So pop culture in general, and that can be books too. So yeah, I think he ticks all of those boxes, the basics. So we're gonna put, what's his name? Let's have a look at, see if I can see chat here. Nope. It's so weird. I'm going to move on from that. My apologies. To have a look at my settings and such. Yeah, so it's looked at. First person on the list, the first person I looked at. I'm not surprised, just because I dug that character so much, and he seemed like a jovial fella, in the right ways for this asinine little premise that I've created here. And yeah, so I think his name was Jack, right? Jack Harmon. So let's just put Emilio. Oh, good, the Marauders, yay. This is why I made that screen that I brought up earlier. It's the Marauders. But not for when I just know that they're here, but when they really kind of overrun everything. Emilio. There's Jack. There we go. Look at that, someone's on the list already. That's good. And then it's funny because he's mixed in with car driver and student, uncredited, man on plane, and then Jack Harmon played by Emilio Estevez. Steward on train. Let's get to where we've actually got some characters, and then I promise I will actually keep playing this game that's here. And again, if internet cuts out, it's wonky. I will be back. Not to worry. Looks like it's trying to mess with me right now. There they are. Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. Is he seriously shoot a rocket at me? What the heck? Okay. Bye. If I feel like cursing at any point, that's when you'll see that screen again. So I do try not to. And here we go. It's trying. OBS is green again. Let's catch up. Fortnite. Streaming software can work, so can you. Pro tip of the day has nothing to do with Fortnite. Son of a biscuit. They're just the worst addition to this game. Like, how many players that you should be able to fight against are being eliminated? It's like people need target practice. And you're not going to get that as much. So it just seems like, who's the exception? Those who can do this without the interruption, because it's about to go out again. Or people that have issues. What is the trick? What is the trick to those of you who... Because I've done everything environmentally in the place, in my home, that you can. And here we go again. To isolate the issue and make sure that it's definitely service related. Because everything that I use is wired. I don't have anything in my setup other than this webcam, which is actually my phone. It's using Wi-Fi. I should probably get out of here. So it's not channel interference from being in like an apartment building. And I don't like jumping into this brunch madness too much when I'm uncertain of whether or not things are going to get through. Stories. Is that a player or is that a marauder? Let's find out. I know they travel in packs, but yeah. Alright, let's get closer. Is he building? Like in the middle of a... Okay. Oh, yeah. Those charged guns are not good from far away. They're like as far as my experience has been, good close quarters thing. It's like, alright. Who's going to be next? Let's get back to this cast list, hopefully. Train engineer, probably not. Agent, a reporter, a flight attendant, no, probably not. You gotta go pretty far. TV interviewer, and oh, Hannah. Hannah was the one with the cool glasses, right? She's the one that was like from the little OG crew that got wiped out. She's just hanging out at the top of the stairs, and she does that. Boom. Don't really see enough of her though, like to get a vibe. Like she's there doing her thing. She seemed like incredibly like relaxed and all, kind of in her element, doing that little spy thing and not overwhelmed by. Who's that? Oh, hi, buddy. There we go. It's the one thing that I've picked up this season so far is just not to button mash. I stumbled upon it by accident. It's like if you do a little stutter between each shot, then the aim is a little better, more accurate. I know everybody else that has ever played this game already knows that, but I don't set out to max out all of the skills every time I sit down and play, because obviously I'm rambling on about other stuff. So Hannah was at the top of the stairs. So remember that Ethan, that fish tank scene. He's like, bow tie. Da da da. He's like, let me show you around the room. All over the place. So Hannah seemed chill. Don't see enough of her to know whether or not she'd be good at waitstaff. You don't get like a snapshot of her more than just doing her spy game thing. So we're gonna have to move on, but I'm pretty sure that's right. As far as Max. Vanessa Redgrave is Max. She was cool. I dug her. I just loved how, like, her confidence, and she had quite the sense of humor. She saw something in Ethan. Being an arms dealer, you have to be a really good in that world, a good judge of character, and know whether or not character, but like, I guess so. Like, is that a hunting rifle or is that a sniper? It's either someone with a hunting rifle probably shouldn't have been shooting from so far away, or a sniper who shoots about as well as I do with them, which is not very good. Anyone? Where are we? Let's see if there's anything in here I want. Max is cool. I mean, the idea of this too is that if I'm going to be let's see where everyone is. So Max, I've got a green, so I'm going to yammer on about this and see what happens. Where's this coming from? I do enjoy shooting down cars. There we are. Alright, so someone died. Who's left? Where are they? Ah! This is what happens when you're multitasking between trying to tell a story, dealing with terrible spectrum internet. Like, yeah. Okay, so we were talking about Max. We were sort of interrupted by internet. Max seems cool, but again, this is all kind of assuming that I'd be friends with them. She's an arms dealer, but let's look at it. I mean, I gotta show my work, right? Would she be good to the wait staff? I don't think so. I don't think it's built in. I think she's used to people doing things for her. So I don't think the appreciation's necessarily going to be there. So, strike one. Would she be interested in a conversation like this? She may. I mean, she's using an obscure, biblical reference for her, like, you know, online name and stuff. So I would imagine she'd be able to pull from pop culture references and stuff. She's someone can offer up a way to help her mind get into her arms dealing state of mind or whatever. I'm sure she'd be like, let's try it. I mean, she was willing to be creative with Ethan, take a chance on him and stuff. So you can see she's got a creative mind in that aspect. And energy level would be there. What is that? What am I looking at? What is that? Oh, that's just oh my gosh, that freaked me out. That's just someone's Millennium Falcon glider. Oof. This is a boring part of the map. I guess I'll go here. Why not? Yeah, I don't think she'd be overtly great with the staff, and I think I mean, yeah, Max is going to be out. Obviously, it's not someone that I would, and I think there'd be a danger element. Me looking over my shoulder, no matter how many security people that she had, kind of like just the nature of what she does. I'd be concerned, like whether or not it was justifiable concern, because she wouldn't be out somewhere if it wasn't safe, but it's a foreign world for me when it comes to arms dealing, so because of that too, I'm gonna have to say no to Max. But what a great job by Ms. Redgrave in that role, and the writers who created it too, because it's just such a cool character. I love the mask that they put on. It's just so weird. It's not slick, like she's got all that money and all this stuff, but it's just so weirdly sewn together. I'm wondering like who from her little crew would have made that, like what they were referencing, or if they just pulled it off of somebody that they had either interrogated or had to kill or something, and found it and was like, hey, let's take this. So we could probably use this sometime down the road. They're reusers, they're helping the environment while they're selling their arms and such. Good on them. Max, you're not making that list. Let's see who's next. Through this before I get another internet outage. I think I do. Yeah, why not? I do need to get better with these charged guns. Unless they're only around for another week, we'll see. Until the end of the week. I'm a little concerned that this whole premise of what it seems like they're setting up is that we're going to be fighting, unlike that Avengers crossover that we're going to be fighting against. It seems like they're pitting, I should probably go back and look at that comic, but it seems like they're pitting the, why not? I'm really worried about dying today so much. They're pitting us, Jonesy and so on, against Thor. It's like Thor's like, I'm trying to help you out, and then someone shoots him anyway. Some sweaty kid. Alright. Who's next? Kristen Scott Thomas, Sarah Davies. She's another one of those that got eliminated right in the beginning. She did seem like she had a nice personality. Good sense of humor. Much more so than the woman who ended up as the one who was it Claire? John Voight's character's wife. She seems a little wooden, but just I did that to myself. But Claire seemed kind of, or Sarah seemed kind of relaxed and had a good sense of humor. Again, it's hard to say that those early characters that got wiped out in the beginning, they don't make, except for Amelia, there weren't many of them that they did a good job, but it's not like for the criteria that I'm laying down here for this just silly premise. You don't see enough of them to know for sure. But with her, would she have been good to waitstaff? It's hard to say. She seemed nice, to her. Was she the one that complained about the coffee? Was it Ethan? I mean, they were just joking around, but... And there's no way of knowing if she'd be interested in this kind of conversation. There's just something about Emilio's character that jumps out. It's like, he really does seem like he'd be down. But with her, it's hard to say. R.I.P., not the actress, the character, obviously. She gets knifed through the fence, I believe. That's where he finds her. Hannah got blew up in the car. Someone's already been in here. Where are they? So yeah, I think it's hard to say. There's not enough to go on, so Sarah, we're going to have to move on from her. So far, only Emilio on the list. Luther. There's not a lot of characters left. But Bing Rames is Luther. That dude is just so cool. I think he's genuinely that character, good dude. So yes, I think he'd be good and kind to the waitstaff. I think it's got like an effortless, not just like an effortless charm. Like if you look at a Vampire Diaries, like Damon Salvatore, where yes, it's effortless, but it's also it's also thick. But with him, his is just kind of relaxed and disarming. And I think that because of that, I think they'd kind of default to him. So who wouldn't want to talk to Luther? Another break room. So that's good. That's one. He'd be in the right state of mind. I mean, he's not 20, and he's not gonna. He's an adult enough to know when to turn it off a bit. So he's not gonna be someone that. I don't know why I keep thinking I'm hearing the Marauders, but I'm gonna have to get out of here sooner or later. Would Luther engage in something as silly as this? We've seen him in a lot of these films. I mean, so there's a really good big snapshot of him. Alright, let's maybe see what I can with this fella out there. Thought I saw someone. traversing. I don't know. I mean, do we ever really see an interest in even... Oh, there he is. There. It's too bad he didn't stop for that. Alright, let's move on. He seems like a... I mean, he seems like he can let his hair down. Oh, good. More marauders. Fantastic. Like he can let his hair down or whatever. But... I see you. You see me? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Oh, that's probably Marauders just ruining people's games, which is so annoying. Like that he could chill out, but I don't know. He seems like a guy who would be into the classics, music wise, books, like an intellectual. Like if you found him on vacation, he'd be chilling on a beach with some classic like book. And for me, reading wise, it's going to be sci-fi. I mean, he could be, but there isn't enough to know for sure. And then even if he did, would he care about this kind of thing? Would he need it, or see the value? Should I? Nah. That's one thing I like doing is sniping these guys. Oh, he's gonna shoot a... There we go. You gonna shoot it at me, buddy? Come on. There we go. Heavy Marauders down. I just don't know if you see enough of them. Yeah, go help your friend, dude. Should I? Just... Forget it. Let's concentrate on players. Do we see enough of him? Even in all of those films. I mean, he's always, working. And I know that if I hadn't locked myself into just the first movie, we could be looking at Simon Pegg's character, and he would most likely be in the finals. But we're looking at Luther right now, and just the first film this time. I mean, should I care about these guys? Should I bother? Where are they? 6 of us left. Luther, would he be into it? He checks all the other... Oh! Let's see. That's another drawback, is that... Where'd you go? I took a little bit of a bite out of him. Oh, they had that all mythic gun. Anyhow, probably shouldn't have been paying so much attention to those daggone Marauders. Luther, though. Luther. Yeah, Luther would be into the classics, and it would be hard. I don't think there'd be enough of a connection topically, in things that are character driven. Just because I think the things that he would be reading would be like Little Women, but like, I mean, because if that was the case, then yes, we could do a Brunch Madness Battle conversation about that book. I don't think that because of that there'd be enough common ground. So you'd probably find music that we both like. But again, we're looking for character-driven things, and I honestly also don't think that he'd see the merit in this. He'd just be like, get my mind in the right place. I just step out the door. Because he's just a very capable dude. So as cool as he would be, Luther, I'm gonna have to go with a no. Krieger. This is gonna be a very, very short, small finals list, but that's fine. I was almost gonna go through Lord of the Rings. Decided that would be too much to take on today. Sometimes I gotta go through something a little bit smaller. Krieger. Krieger seems to be. He's basic. He's like one note. He's got skills, obviously. But I don't think that he's. He may. Critical thinker, really? No. Creative? No. Not so much. Now, how confused he got with the whole sleight of hand thing that Ethan did with him when he had the disc. You try and sleight of hand with my money, I'll. What did he say? Cut his throat? But let's, I'm going to show my work. Would he be good to the waitstaff? I doubt it. I don't see him as being overtly kind. I think he would be there. The energy level would be right for sure, but he might not be rude. He's not going to be kind, and I don't think that he doesn't strike me as someone who would be a character who would be grateful. So that's just strike one. Energy level, sure, but interest in this conversation, doubtful. Like he'd probably have that same confused look on his face as he had when Ethan did that, like that sleight of hand with him, and he's like, I don't think that he would be able to contribute. I don't think he'd be able to see the merit in a conversation like that. So I think Krieger, as great as Mr. Reno was, is that how you say it? Or is it like Renault or something fancy, professional? As great as he was, but yeah, we're gonna say pretty quick, decisive no. Krieger. I think the danger aspect too, because I think he's on the disavowed list for pretty good reason. The other ones, they had redemptive factors to them. They're like caught up in something. And but no, I don't think Krieger had any kind of. He was good for the task at hand, but in the end, it was a bad call on Ethan's part to bring him on. But what options do they have in a situation like that? They got to take a gamble, and they gambled wrong on Krieger. And I think he's probably got more enemies out there than most of them, purely by nature of his personality. So, sorry, Krieger. Didn't he die? I think he died. Helicopter. Yeah. In the tunnel. Was that the tunnel? No. I don't think. Maybe it was. Who's next? Kittredge, played by Henry Czerny. Yep. And my internet just died. You can blame Spectrum for my singing. If any of this sneaks through, my apologies. It's like I get to edit tonight. Just trying a little bit. Let's hang out here until it's corrected so that you don't have to hear me cursing if anything is sneaking through. We're going to do that. And I don't yet have, I could be lying, don't yet have green light from OBS, but let's go fight some people. Maybe. Yellow light, green light, here we go. Kittredge, let's talk about Kittredge. That, I kind of want to just talk about that scene for a minute. Scene in, no, let's go this way. When he finally meets up with him, and it dawns on Ethan that there was another IMF team at the embassy that night. And Kittredge gives him that. He's playing dumb, but Kittredge himself is like a good actor, so he does that whole I don't follow. It's like the other team of IMF agents at the embassy tonight. He's like, I don't follow. And then he gives him that, let's see if you can follow me around the room. So much about that scene was so right. Of course, the performances were just spot on. Obviously, Tom Cruise and Mr. Zerny, I think that's how you say his name. Just inhabiting those roles, and the tension there, so great. But then that was aided by not only the performances, but like just the shot composition, because they have these little like these close-ups. These close-ups come from kind of underneath the actors. It just ratchets up the tension in such a cool way. Let's see. And then just, the scene as written as well. It just keeps getting more and more and more and more tense, and then the pretense goes away. Finally he realizes that he can't. There's no point in, like Kittredge, there's no point in him like playing dumb anymore. And so then he just drops the act, and it's so cool. And all of that would have been just randomly shooting. Maybe they're just as bad as shooting their sniper rifle as me. Anyway, and then of course, the scene would have been good enough already, but then just that visual of him red light, green lighting the giant fish tank, and then the shot of it coming down with, of course, Tom cruising out the out the window. That was so great. But Kittredge. Let's look at him. I don't know if he's someone I'd want to hang out with, but yeah. We'll apply the criteria. Would he be good to the waitstaff? He seems like a Karen. He seems like a guy that would be. He probably wouldn't give them a glance. Maybe the corner of his eye, but if he addressed someone in a service role, it would just be more without ever looking at them. And maybe the full-on entitled Karen energy wouldn't be there, but it would be more of like, because he's so used to being in his authoritative role. And I think that seems like it was something that would spill over into his personal life, because they don't keep regular hours in those types of jobs. I think they're in it. And so whatever habits that you have in that setting with because of that carryover into everyday stuff. He may have a. Where's that coming from? Ah! Oh, there you are. Ooh. Ah! I shot him with a flare gun. I've been trying to kill people with flare guns. I got 2 yesterday. That was fun. Sorry to kill your joyride, buddy. Yeah, so Kittredge, I think he might have, like, here and there someone that, like, in the office, that, whatever their, like, cafeteria is at the CIA, NSA. Should probably. Internet is back again. Thanks for hanging out. This is bananas. Alright, so we're talking about Kittredge. Yeah, I think he'd be, too rude. I think he'd be just short and not kind, and I don't think he would engage in this sort of thing. I think he would see it as silly, and no. But I think we've given him enough of a shout to say we'll eliminate him, but we've given him his respect as far as the performance is concerned, and that one scene of all scenes that was just so epic. That is, to me, one of the greatest scenes in any movie ever, and it's a credit to the writers, the director, the cinematographer, both performers in it. Just phenomenal. But we are going to move on. And again, this stuff it'll be on YouTube, and I'll edit it before it gets there. Trying to find the best way to do so with these longer streams, because I'm going to need some new editing software, which I can download soon. Alright, moving on to Claire. Claire, she does a good job, the actress, as far as the emotional aspects of those in those scenes. The character herself doesn't seem very interesting. Yeah, there's nothing really that jumps off the page that makes me think she's gonna be engaged in pop culture. She's another one of those, like, I bet her and Luther could hang out, as far as if you're looking at it from the aspect of common interests. She seems like someone you'd find in a museum. And not that people that go to museums and appreciate works of art are uninteresting. I just don't think that she's got a mind, like a super creative mind, to be able to, let's say there were characters involved in all of those artworks and stuff. I don't, she just strikes me as someone who would be confused by the premise. Like, it's not serious. It's not a serious life thing to discuss. She seems like default would be the deeper meanings of life all the time. Not that, and wouldn't be able to see, again, the merit in this kind of conversation. She would be good at the wait staff, for sure. She seems like she seems kind, and she'd be in the right, energy level. But she's also on the wrong side of things in that story. So her commitments would lie with people that I wouldn't want to be associated with. Although Ethan didn't know that, so I might not either. But yeah, I don't see her being interested in this type of conversation. maybe she'd be like, "Oh, do you know Amelie?" And no, I haven't seen it. I know I should, but that maybe is like the only film that she's ever seen. Be my guess. Or the films of Charlie Chaplin. I hear you. Where is it? Here? Nope. I'm losing my mind a little bit here. Okay. Oh, here it is. So we're gonna go ahead and roll out Claire. I do love that scene when he comes back, and he's back and sees everybody has been toast, and he comes back to the spot, and she shows up, and he's like, "I saw," because he thought he had seen everybody die, including her. And she's like, "You said come back here at 4:00, 400." Something, I think that was it. And she kind of repeats herself, but there was this note she struck in that scene that was just so great. And I like how in the scene in the train, the end of the movie, when there's a little confrontation with her and Ethan and then John Voight's character. When she says Ethan and she asks him for the money, the way she says it, there's this breath that she puts behind it, the money. I was like, I don't know why I've always loved that. But no, I don't think. Is that coming from the front or behind? Where was that? Oh, there you are. Alright. We were done for this. We just made a big old spectacle of ourselves, didn't we? Alright. I will trade you for you, and I'll take you, and then sit out in the open and hope that a rock is enough cover. So sorry, Claire. Good job to Miss Bayard. And we're down to 2, and I think so far we've only have Emilio on the list. That's rough. My head. I'm not sure. Let's go this way. And now we've got Jim Phelps. Mr. John Voightman himself. Oh no. Is it safe? Do we think? Let's go down here. Where are they? Come on down. Come on down. Oh, are they upstairs? Shoot, I didn't even think. Ah! Where are you guys? Ah. Ah! Where'd you go? Oh wow, an actual player. Okay, let's get the heck on out of here, right? That was ugly. Marauder was like all on his own, wasn't he? Oh, he says before, son of a... That is what I made that for. Is because I hate. You're still shooting at me, dude. Oh, where's that? Oh, that was very surprising. I made it out of that. Oh my goodness. I need so many things right now. Oh, those marauders. I'm really hoping that Friday is the last we see of them. I need to find some health in here. And some ammo. Oh, I got the little patch kit, so let's hit that up while I duck out here for a sec. Okay. Jim Phelps. The energy level would be there, that's for sure. I mean, he's, obviously not in his 20s or 30s or maybe even 40s in that film, I think. He's got things under control when it comes to that. I think he'd be good to the waitstaff. I think he's got a manipulative type of charm enough. Why isn't none of that ammo? Alright, let's get some more. Get out of here soon. So yeah, I think he should be charming enough, kind enough, everything. He'd even, alright, give me that, give me that. It's just not nearly enough ammo, but what do I have? I have no choice. And would he be into this kind of conversation? I don't know that there'd be a lot of common ground reference point wise, but he seems like a guy like, maybe he'd be into Frasier. I could talk about Frasier. I could do this same thing. And MASH. I could do this with MASH. Talk about Hawkeye and just right back where all those marauders were, aren't I? So yeah, I think I could find common ground there. So I think all the basic levels. I think he checks those boxes, but I think he's fooled enough people in his life. Because I'm not around spies that I know of, so I don't know that I know. And maybe I'd be one of those people in his life. So we won't necessarily say I would know for sure, because maybe his cover is something that let's take you. Okay. A lot of places to hide in there. See, we'll slap him on the list. Why not? I mean, yes, he's the main baddie of the film, but I don't know that I'd know that. Because it could be one of those civilians in his life that wouldn't know for sure. Wouldn't for sure know, I should say. I hear someone. Oops. Where they at? Coming upstairs, buddy? So yeah, surprisingly, Jim Phelps goes on the list. Wait a minute, isn't that Emilio's dad in real life? Oh, wait. Am I crazy? I could be crazy. And then there's Ethan. Come on now. Think he left. Alright. While I'm here, I'll put Jim Phelps on the list before I forget. We're down to one. Only Ethan. Ethan Hunt. I mean, he's yeah. Already seems like a good candidate. You know, he's going to be great with the wait staff. You know, that dude's just, he's got a really good energy, and I think charming. I should probably hang on to some of these. How am I not? Oh, there's one. Okay. There. He's gone. Let's go get in a fight. I don't think that I'll be able to get through all of this and the finals before finishing this match anyway, so let's go die. See what happens. I see. Still just the one. Where's everyone? Oh, where are you at? Ah! You used that well. Oh, yeah, that mythic one. I'm really glad I made the goal that I had for solo wins, lifetime solo wins before the end of this season, because now it's like I can just go out and have some target practice during these matches and not really worry about it. Obviously, I don't want to do incredibly poorly, but you could see the name of the stream. This is Mediocre by design, because I'm multitasking here. So Ethan Hunt. Let's look at Ethan Hunt. Ethan Hunt would definitely be, again, good. The wait staff, charming. I think he can pull that up from no matter how he's feeling the next day. I think that's just part of, training. But I think his personality as well. So that's good. And I think he would definitely take the wheel too. Kind of deflect all of that. That's that bit of the social interaction in some brunch times from myself, so that I can be off the hook for that. Because I don't know that I could be trusted to be fully, overtly kind. The appreciation would be there, but I know me, and I want someone who's going to be like an ambassador for how I normally feel when I'm not tired and hungover and all that stuff. And I think Ethan would be able to do that for sure. And much like Jim, I don't think that I would know he was a spy, because I could be that civilian person in his life that I'm unaware of it. Like, I'd be aware of his cover life, so I don't think I would know of any inherent danger that would come with that. Yeah, still, chat's not coming through on mod view. I don't know why. Just a sec while I something here. Some technical issues again. I'm back. Let's see where we're going today. I haven't been into the 40 yet. Should I? Why not? As far as the chat is concerned, pretty sure I have a very specific set of rules. It's one rule, basically. Stay on topic, please. I'm here doing my Brunch Madness thing, going through the today, the show or the film Mission Impossible, the original one, first one, trying to figure out who would be the most appealing hungover brunch guest. So that's all I want to talk about. That's it. So if you can help me along in my thinking, that would be amazing. Aside from that, I don't. I'm pretty sure all of that is laid out in the little thing that you would click when you get in here. So Ethan, yeah, he would carry that interaction, which is awesome. It's something. It's almost like a bonus. He'd be at the right energy level for sure. I think he'd be into this. He did strike me much like Emilio's character as someone who I think he's gotten so good at his job. There's a lot of wiggle room for him to he's like such a natural. There's a lot of wiggle room for him to engage in, pop culture and that kind of thing. So I think there would definitely be an appeal, an interest in, and I think he would get a kick out of the idea of why I want to do this. So I can put my mind in a space so that the whole day doesn't go to waste. So yeah, Ethan's on the list. So the top three, the finals. Let's take a look at that in a sec here. We've got a finals, and so we're looking at with the technology today, right? I don't know why I have to write that down, but the way I have to multitask here. So we've got Jack, played by Emilio, Jim Phelps, and good old Ethan Hunt in the finals. Yeah, that's right. I made some things and I'm gonna use them. Oof. Multitasking like a crazy person here. Do I want the drum gun? Yeah, why not? Yeah. I don't know what is that. Is that a salad? What am I looking at here? That's cabbage for sure. That's funny. Shadow henchman only. Oh right, I'm not the shadow henchman anymore. Let's go turn myself back into one. Although, weapons-wise, I think I'm set. So why don't I change clothes and then just get the heck on out of here safely. Usually I'll have like 4 left, and then I can do 2 versus 2, and then take those last 2, but we've only got 3 here, so let's see. I think Phelps, like if you look at Emilio's shark, I've got no beef with you, but I know you want this gun. Like, I take the sharks though. I like that amount of a challenge, and since the waters have receded, it's like the right percentage. You know, they're not marauders just running around like jackasses all over this island. Um, so we could start with just Jim Phelps versus Emilio's Jack. That's his dad, right? In real life? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to look it up right now because that'd be one too many things to add to this multitasking list. Let's see what's going on over here. Think head to head on each of these criteria. Let's look at it. Jack is, I think, going to be a little bit more right on the energy level and also on the interaction with the wait staff and the servers, if you will. And although you never know what generation of someone that you're going to get, I just think he's being funny, and I think that's going to shine through no matter how like tired he is or whatever, hungover. I think on that level he wins. And points of reference for this kind of endeavor, I think it's going to be more common ground with Emilio's guy. Jack. So we're going to go ahead and say sorry, Jim Phelps. Even with your cover intact, in my eyes, for me, I think Emilio's dude is, because I bet his like, be interested to know what his like cover life is. You know, like what does he pretend to be when he's not being a spy? Could write some fan fiction while we're sitting here, but I won't. I promise. I won't subject you to that, even though I've subjected you to this amazing premise of mine already. What would he be though? And now I'm curious. If I ever meet Emilio, I'm gonna ask him, what was his cover life? And now there were 2. We're down to Ethan Hunt versus Emilio's Jack. Yeah, that's right. I used it again. Man. So we can do the comparison first. So as far as the wait staff, both are going to be charming as heck, and on the same in the same kind of way, I think. You know, without trying, but both would engage so much as it would definitely deflect and take those interactions like away from me, and endear themselves to, you know, the service staff, which is great. They'd be like, as I mentioned, the ambassadors for who I would normally be. Now I would normally be with them when I wasn't in this state. So I think they're an even match there. As far as energy levels. Ethan's out in the world more. Like, he's out on missions and mixing things up more physically, and then Emilio's character is guy in the chair. Is that's his job. Yes, he's out in the field. I mean, he was, you know, on that, like, uh, in the elevator and all that. But Ethan's, I think, is going to be more physical. So, how could that affect an energy level the next day? Ethan's metabolism. I'm reaching here, I know, but this is my game. I can do it like that if I want to. Where shall I? Marauders, of course. There are 13 of us left and barely any of the map, and there is an entire group of marauders. That's insane to me. Like, I just... yeah, screw it. Let's go. Yeah, I see your dumb faces. I kind of want to snipe them. But, anyhow. So I think Ethan would be more recovered because of it. And I think if we're splitting hairs and looking at the energy level the next day, I think because of it, Ethan's... it wouldn't be off-putting, but if we're just comparing the two for this competition, I think Jack wins because of it. Oh, he just asleep a little bit. There we go. Or was it a marauder? I'm moving, but can I? Nope. I'm terrible with a sniper rifle, as you can see. Ooh! I did it! Who's proud of me? Who's so proud of me? I am. That was neat. So I think Jack was got a leg up there. Just a little bit. So that's good. Someone's building around me somewhere. Where? There. Should I flare gun them? Yeah, why not? I missed. There we go. That's better. So Jack's got a little bit of a leg up there. Nope, I'm not. Give me that back. Where do you think he went? Where do you think they went? So Jack's got a little bit of a leg up in the energy category because I think Ethan can fake it, but I think Jack's would be sincere, and I like sincerity in this. Oh, so close. All right, we'll play one more round. Oof. All right. So both are going to be on par with service staff, I think. Jack's got a little bit of a leg up because I have to split hairs here when it comes to the energy level because He's more guy in chair, less active. Ethan's got to be active, so he's probably also working out. So he's going to recover more. So it's just Jack's winning by a hair. Engaging in this conversation, this type of thing, I honestly think that Jack would have, because Ethan can fake it. I do think that he engages in his own way because he's just so naturally good at what he does that there's plenty of time for him to. I just want to sit in my chair for just a second. 1 second. There you go. So he does find time. I'm sure he's like, if it was today, he'd be listening to podcasts and stuff. He's. I don't think he would need this type of conversation as much. So I think he would already have, one, he's recovered more and wouldn't necessarily need to push his brain into the right state of mind. And if he did, I think he'd already have his own tricks to do so. Friggin' Emilio, I think. So what's his last name again? Internet, do your thing. Come on now. Yeah, you actually have to. Alright, let's go. To even see Emilio in the cast, you have to go. You can't just go like starring. IMDb, you have to actually go into that whole like whole cast and crew thing. Or haven't I been today, which would be fun to close this out. Farm? Yeah, why not? Let's go there. And then scroll forever until you get to uncredited Jack Harmon. I should add to like the chat rules like one caveat. Like, all I want to talk about is the show that I'm debating, and it would be the best hungover brunch guest. Also, will accept tips on how to make my Wi-Fi or my. It's not Wi-Fi. I'm Etherneted on everything, just because of how bad the service is. You gotta eliminate all the environmental factors. So, any tips on improving internet connectivity? One thing that actually made a big difference for me was replacing all of the surge protectors, because the ones that I had were super cheap, and I've got a lot of electronics and smart home stuff and all that, and apparently they throw off, like if you're not managing the energy going to and from, like to them, they throw off a lot of energy that can mess with Wi-Fi signals in particular. And then I replaced them all with surge protectors that actually advertise, like, yes, we actually make sure that they don't throw out that, it's not the right term, but like dirty energy that messes with Wi-Fi. And it was kind of a night and day. So much better. And then obviously going wired is with pretty much everything. That's made a big difference, but still, you're at the mercy of the service itself. So if Spectrum decides to be awful, as it has been the last few months, there's not much you can do about it. Um, back to the task at hand, which we have accomplished. So, for I should do some fanfare here just for fun. Yeah, I don't really care for those hunting rifles. For the good old we have a winner for the Brunch Madness original Mission Impossible film, and that is Emilio Estevez's Jack. So congrats, buddy. And he'll go on the bracket. Just shaping up. It's the first Sweet 16 is shaping up. That's a graphic that I need to actually make. Complete. Put out there. As usual, before I end up eliminated from this round, channel is Chasing Geekdom. And normally I'm out in the world covering comic conventions and theme parks, which I would have been doing this week in Anaheim, as I mentioned. Star Wars Celebration was canceled. Disneyland's not even open. And also race events like Star Wars Half Marathon. Instead, till that improves, I'll keep doing this after as well. Maybe not as much. Flopping down here and playing this game and talking about it, the things that I usually would be in that coverage. Right now, in the form of this, brunch madness stuff, but I'm trying to keep it interesting. You can chasinggeekdom.com. You can see all the things that I've covered in the past, all the events and theme park coverage, that kind of thing. And you can see all my links here: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. YouTube's where you'll find a live gameplay playlist where all these end up. This will be edited first to cut out the little chunks of connectivity issues. And then I'll post it there sometime tomorrow, likely. But you can see all the other ones as well. Every once in a while, I'll sprinkle in a behind the scenes from the films and TV shows that I've worked on, stories if they're seemingly interesting enough from back in the day. And you can find a very embarrassing Charlize Theron story that I have. And yes, it was an interaction that I had with her, very brief, on the set of Sweet November. And yes, there you are. Keanu is as cool as you think he is. Just a cool dude. You can find all that there on YouTube. But yeah, all the links are here. Do what you need to do here to get notified when I'm streaming or whatever. Because it would be cool to get some feedback on, in the moment when I'm debating these things, on these things, because I'm sure I have blind spots as far as these characters are concerned. Things that other people remember that would help my quest here. So yeah, we'll finish this round out and see what happens. Probably gonna watch that original Mission Impossible film when I'm done here, or maybe even just the scene in that restaurant with the big fish tank. We got 29 people left. I started a little earlier today. That's because I'm on a good old vacation. Today I would have been. The Star Wars Celebration wouldn't have started till Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. till Thursday, I think. But I would have been in a theme park today. Oh my gosh. Checking out for the first time the Star Wars stuff in Star Wars Land. It'll happen eventually, and it's a luxury too. So it's there are people dying out there from this pandemic, so you can only complain so much. Just be safe and be smart, please. Interested to see where this new season goes. I'm a little somewhat skeptical of the premise, the idea that, don't get me wrong, it having Marvel whatever leans very much into what I do, this creative endeavor. Not just into chasing geekdom, not just this whole playing Fortnite and yammering on about Brunch, but I just don't know if I fully get the whole. What am I doing here? Do I want a sniper rifle? Or do I care? Yeah, why not? Not that. Give me that. Instead of playing as these the Avengers, where you are at odds with them. Like, they're here to help us, but we don't get that, so we're gonna fight them. I don't know. I should probably go and look at that latest comic before we go, just to understand a little bit. But we'll find out soon enough, just a couple of days. Although it is epic, so who knows if that'll hold true. Ooh! That was. Someone's got a car. About to get sniped in the ear. Alright. Take that back. Here's someone. Here's someone. Where are they? Oh, there's someone. Let's go get in a fight. Oh, of course. Where are they? Oh. Oh, look at that. I don't love. I love the idea of that. No, I actually don't want to do that, do I? No. That skin with the little cat that controls. It's cool to look at from an outsider's perspective. Cool design. It's really cool and cute, even, I guess. But playing with it, it felt awkward, clunky, like in a way that I guess I'm so used to, like sleek Dark Knight skin. I don't know. There's just something about it that didn't, feel good. But anyways, good job, Jack. Good old Emilio, right? He's the winner. The winner. Since I made that, let's do that again. Good job. Good job. Good job, winner. And yeah, chasinggeekdom.com. I don't know why. I thought I could have sworn I went back to the lobby. There we go. chasinggeekdom.com, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all Chasing Geekdom. You can see the links in the bio. I'm not sure what show or movie I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I'm usually thinking of it like right before I start. I like to end on advance. And yeah, but I'll be back. It'll probably be around the same time. It seems to be working out that way. You know, a creature of habit even when I'm not working. So maybe sooner, maybe later. But yeah. Good job, Emilio, with your uncredited role, winning Brunch Madness for Mission Impossible, the first film. I think that is all for me today. Thanks for hanging out. I will edit this and eventually slap it up on the YouTube.